YouTube. Just came back from another hiring event at 9 Bond Street. Had to stop a dude like, yo, what up? Gonna call me, you know, because I've been everywhere. Harlem, wherever I can find it, you know, whatever. I just go. Like, I ain't had nothing to do today, so I just went. Yeah, it was like a lot of people there. I waited like 2-3 hours. Luckily, it wasn't that hot today. But, you know, I'm always on YouTube, and I came across a question. And the question for today is, can you help who you fall in love with? Now, y'all know I'm spiritual and everything like that. I think for the most part, from the women that I know and for the experiences that I've been through, people fall in love with one or two characteristics and a characteristic that they hope that the person would have. So, like, perfect example, Faith Evans. That's one of the saddest relationships I've ever heard. She came to my mind because they was talking about Biggie Smalls today, how he had a trans woman in his video. And I've been saying it for years, like, a lot of these men, they don't like women. They really don't. They have sex with women, but they don't really like women. You know what I mean? Like, Faith Evans, to all my Faith Evans fans, her first album, You Used to Love Me and all of that, those are things that she wanted him to say to her, right? Now, that's weird to me because most men, when they mess up, they'll be like, yeah, I'm a man, I'll make it up to you. Yo, he ain't say that to her. And I'm like, hold on, that was her man, like that was her husband, and he never said he wanted to make it up to her. She wanted him to say that. Like, that nigga is like not straight. Like, that don't make sense to me. Like, how you widow girl and you don't try to make it up to her? The songs that she wrote was things that she wanted him to say. So she really was not in love with him. She was in love with what she wanted him to be. She wanted love. They have something called Hopelessly in Love. I don't know if y'all seen it. It's retarded. It's retarded. Like, they talk about Left Eye Lopez and her relationship with that football player. She burnt down his house and then he bailed her out. I don't know how to feel about that. Like, she was wrong for what she did. Like, I understand he was wrong too for infidelities, but you don't do that. And he good for bailing her out. He good for that. But that's just crazy, and that takes too much effort. Like, I can't, like, my attitude and personality is just like, I don't know. I think I blame my mother, because my mother always said, you're not supposed to, it's okay to be hurt and crying and stuff, but you're not supposed to let a man see you hurt, right? Because he gonna take that and he gonna, because after all of that, he still, like, they got back together and he still was doing him. Even after he burnt her house, she burnt his house and stuff like, you know what I'm saying? So that didn't teach him anything. So then they was gonna get married, and it eventually ended because she got tired of the tomfoolery, like, you know. But I just wanted to say that. And, you know, I was thinking about Faith Evans today, and, you know, she represents a lot of women who, she been married 3 times, and she made a huge mistake with Stevie J. I guess that was just out of loneliness, and it happens, you know. I thought he really was in love with her because he said he had a crush on her for over 20 years. So I was even in shock, like, you know, Stevie J, he just don't like nobody. Like, like, it's like, if you don't have at least one man or one woman that will make you right, I really don't know what to say to that. Like that's something that only God could figure out. 'Cause that just don't make no sense. Like, you was trying to get with her over 20 years ago, and you finally get her, and he cheated on Faith too. And I was like, well, damn, because like when he was cheating on Mimi, you could tell he ain't really want her, right? So you could tell like she was just a placeholder. Then when he got with Jocelyn, we all knew that was a joke. So of course, yeah, like she was just what's the word? She was just something to play with for the time being. And I think everybody's guilty of it. You get with somebody because it's like, oh, they're fun. And he called it what they had, gorilla sex. So, you know, that was just his play. We all knew that was just his plaything. Unfortunately, he made a baby with her, and she fell in love. She fell insane with him, because she's another one. Like, she felt like she was so in love with him, but it was because he took her out the strip club. So of course she gonna fall hard for him, because he changed her life. You know, she was at the strip club, and he was there at the right place at the right time. How many strippers could say that they've been, you know, they don't gotta strip no more and they on Love and Hip Hop? So, you know, he really changed her life, literally. So that's what's, you know, the Stockholm syndrome, the Captain Save-A-Ho syndrome. But then when he got with Faith and then he cheated, I was shocked, because I was on Stevie J's side. Like, I was like, he a good father. He just need that woman. Even Mimi was like, well, maybe, you know, he'll do right by a woman this time. Nope. And I'm like, oh my God, like, what the hell? He cheated on her too. So, I don't know. He got real issues, because you chased that woman for 20 years. She got remarried 6 months after Biggie died. And then, like, you know. Yeah. Just crazy how when I was downtown it wasn't hot. Now it feels a little hot. But, yeah, so it's like when he cheated on Faith, I'm like, wow. And everybody like predicted it too. But I didn't think so, because he said that was his dream girl. Like, why would you cheat on your dream girl? Now I'm confused. Like, okay. Like, that don't make no sense. Like, and that shows, now I see all my life people been saying it. It's true. Men and women, we really are different. Because if I'm with my dream nigga, I'm not going to even desire another man. I don't want another man. You know, whatever. Even if I'm not in a relationship, I really like somebody, I won't even have a conversation with another dude, because I'm with my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if they fuck up, that's your nigga, right? But that's the big difference between men and women. Like, or I should say some men, because not all men are the same. You know, I know one man, he's faithful to his wife. 2 men faithful to their wives. They married their dream girl. And, you know, like my homeboy, I'm like, if he cheat, then I give up. And then my pastor from my childhood, like, he still lusts after her. And it's so cute, because they almost 80 years old, and she still get fly. Like, her outfits, her makeup, like, I look up to her. Like, she is fly. She's 78 and she is fly. She's like, look good, smelling good. she still wear her heels. She still wear her dresses. She still fly. She still wear her wigs. I'm like, good, Sister Smith. Okay. Okay. Like, she still fly. Like, she still, and he still always compliments her. He like, don't my wife look good? That is so, I'm like, wow. they've been married since they was 15 and 17, and now they 76 and they 2 years apart, so they 76 and 78, and he still is attracted to her. He says it all the time. He compliments her and everything, and I'm like, that's what's up. Like, cause that's his dream girl. He got with a girl that he really liked. You know, that's it. You know, that's it for him. And he always says it, like, he don't lust after another woman because in his eyes nobody look better than her. And it sounds shallow, but that's his boot. Can't tell him nothing else. That's his boot thing. He love it. You know. So yeah, but that's the question of the day. Can you really truly help who you love? You know, because what I say, it's just opinions. It's experiences. Yes, ran to Dunkin' Donuts real quick, being greedy. Yeah, so everyone has their own experiences, and from my experiences, you know, you ought to love someone who loves you. And the reason why some people are so, you know, in toxic relationships for 10, 20 years is if you love you, you're not going to allow someone in your space that don't love you. Yeah, so basically how you feel about yourself is what you're going to allow. Obviously, a person with good self-esteem, they're not going to be with a nigga that is mean to them, right? Eventually, you might kick it with them for a while, but once you see a pattern of meanness, like they just being mean to you, the way they talk to you, they treat you like shit, eventually you won't exit left, because it's like, I like myself. I like what I see in the mirror. You know, I feel like I'm the bomb.com. So whoever comes in my direction, sometimes it takes me longer because I'm human, I catch feelings, but there's no way that I'm going to tolerate BS but for so long, because that's just, I'm human. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then when it's over, you realize, oh, I wasn't in love. It was an ungodly soul tie, going back to that. And then you realize you fell for the person for all the wrong reasons. You fell for the person because of what you thought they were. So then when you think about it, it's not really love. Now, is it? When you really love someone, like for real, you fall in love with who they are. Purely, right? Now, if you fall in love with what you thought they were, then it's like you fell in love with a ghost, or you fell in love with someone who didn't exist, right? If a man is telling you, oh, I do this for a living, I do that for a living, he's doing all these things for you, he pretends to listen, right? People are good pretenders. He pretends to listen, all of these things, but then you find out that's not who he really is. You didn't really fall in love with him. You fell in love with the interviews, right? Because everybody does well in interviews. It's not until they actually get the job where you actually see them in action, right? You know, so yeah, so food for thought, just something to think about. And I think who you fall in love with essentially is I feel like it is an example of how you feel about yourself. You know, even in friendships, like a lot of us, we tolerate BS in our friendships. Like I was telling y'all, the different types of women to stay away from. You know, if you have a friend who constantly shits on you and they're mean to you, eventually you're gonna be like, fuck you, right? You're gonna be like, fuck you. You know, somebody that's a flat leaver, somebody that don't want to give you a ride home, somebody that's talking about you, somebody who's selfish, somebody who don't call you. You know, the list goes on with fake friends. So it's the same thing in a relationship. Somebody not doing right by you, or they make you feel, the biggest thing is for me, like once the person makes me feel like shit, like you make me second guess myself, like something wrong with you, oh, you gotta go. because I know I'm the bomb.com. So I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with me. Like, shit, you know, something wrong with you. That's why you treat people like that. And it's like, it's so true. Like, a person that's happy within themselves, they're not gonna treat you like shit. It's impossible. Like, it's impossible for me to treat somebody like shit, because I feel great about myself and I treat others how I want to be treated. I like good karma. I don't want bad karma. You know, and if I did treat somebody bad, it was definitely unintentional. You know, but you have narcissists out here that sit there and they plot and they purposefully shit on people because they feel shitty inside. They feel like shit. There's no way that a man who feels good about himself, Biggie didn't feel good about himself, right? In his lyrics, he's like, black and ugly as ever, however, Gucci down to the socks. So he knew he wasn't shit, right? So he didn't feel good about himself, and that's why he treated Faith so poorly. And Kim. Makes perfect sense. You know, as when we were kids, we like, oh, he was just living life. No, a nigga like Biggie, he has some real deep-seated rooted issues. To treat Faith like that, your wife, he never was home. It was in a documentary. Several documentaries Faith has done. This nigga never came home. Typical musician. Typical. Never. This nigga was never home. This is like when he wasn't on tour. This nigga was never home. She's like, when they broke up, she had no choice but to leave. And she found a spot in Manhattan. And he moved to Teaneck, New Jersey. He got a condo before he died. And it was like, she was like, yo, why are we living together and you never here? That's weird. Like, you got a girl and you don't go home to her. Like, that's weird. Like, that just shows something's wrong with you. Like, you married her for what? You know? And then, like, with Kim, he was beating on her. It's like something was really wrong with him. Something really is wrong. But it's because they don't feel good about themselves. They don't feel good about, because when you feel good about yourself, you treat others well. You're able to be a good friend. You're able to be a good person, a good parent, a good father, a good mother. You're able to be good to people. People see the joy in your life. People see you happy. They like, oh, you glowing. No, I'm not pregnant. I'm just happy. I feel good about myself. You know, positive things, you know. But yeah, those are my thoughts.